Tazia Banza Bala one Banya Sharala.
Tazia Banza Bala one Banya Sharala.
Yabashim Yashabrakata.
Yabashim Yashabrakata. I'll just keep it over there.
Ayashrab.
Ayashrab. You need to take it, undo it. Everybody a module? Well, but you call it, you take it over.
The Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash. Haya.
Shemka.
Yahweh. Malakwaka. Taba'ah. Ratazayaka. Haya. Aisha. Baratza. Kawa. Haya. Bashamayim. Latangana. Lakam. Kal. Yawam. Wasalaknawa. Kabawatanawa. Kasalaknawa. Kabawathiyanawa. Wala. Tabaya anawa. Panasayawan. Abal. Habashaynawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Wahala. Watapara. La Walanya. Aman.
What we said was, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
The Hakak prayer in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. Babakashah. Latanlanawa. Hakak. La Rapa'ah. Kamalaka'ah. Wakal Marawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Hakak. Lahaqwayim. Hamathium. Hakak. Arakawa. Hatama'ala. Garashan. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. The water. Amen.
All right, and what we said was, Lord, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you, so be it. Hold on. This is the blessed Israel.
This is the blessed Israel. In the Hebrew, Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Barak Lanawa. Wa Yasha'Allah.
Wa Yasha'Allah.
Waha Bayath. Salaki. Waha Bayath.
Bayath.
Saparium.
Saparium.
Barak.
Barak.
Bashim.
Hashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
The water.
What we said was, Lord, in the name of Yahushai, bless us, and Israel, and the school, in the name of Yahushai, thank you so be it.
This is the Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Aisha, Ayanya, Ahariam, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Azaria, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Asha, Shamayam, Wa'ah, Al Yatan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wa'ala, Yashan, Shamamar, Yasra'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yamyamka, Yamawam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Ba'a, Rak, Bala, Yala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Napashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazatka, Wa'aka, Ma'ata, Wa'ai, Awulam.
What we said was, I will lift up my
eyes.
From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forth. And even forevermore.
Yep. This is Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Alahayim. So like Alahayim. Al Damaya Laka. Al the Karash. Wa'al. The Shakwat. Al Kayahana. Al Wa'yabika. Ha Yaham Ma Awan. Wama. Shana Yaka. Nashawa. Ra'ash. Al-Imaka. Ya'aram. Wa. Sawad. Waya. Ya. Aitazah. It's like a Waya. Yatazah. Wa. Al Tazah. Panwika. Amarwa. Lakawa. Wana. Kayadam. Magawa. Wallah.
Wallah.
Ya Zakar Sham.
Ya Zakar.
Sham Yashra Allah.
Sham Yashra.
Iwad.
Iwad.
Kaya. Salaka?
Like, now you.
Okay. Kaya. No. Wa Atza.
Kaya. No, Atza.
La. Yakad. Wa.
Laba. Yakadwa.
Wa Al Yaka.
Yakadwa is Al Yakad.
Oh, Salaka. Baryath.
Baryath.
Yakarathwa.
Yakarathwa.
Ahalya.
Ahalya.
Adawam.
Hadawam.
Wa Yash Ma'ailamum.
Wayash Ma'alim.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wa Hagarium.
Hagarium.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa Amawan.
Wamawan.
Wa Amalak.
Wamalak.
Shaf.
Palashah.
I'm Yashabia.
I'm Yashabia.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gamashawar.
Gamashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Hayya.
Haywa.
Haywa. Zorawai.
Zorawai.
Labanya.
Labanya.
Lawat Salah.
Lawat Salah.
Aisha Lacham.
Aisha Laham.
Ka Madyam.
Kamadian.
Kasa Yasara A.
Kasa Yasara.
Ka Yabyan.
Kayabyan.
Ba. That was it. That's all I have right here, sir. Slow. Banakal.
Banakal.
Kayashwan.
Kayashwan.
Na Shamadwan.
Nashmaba.
Ba'ayan.
Bayan.
Dara.
Dara.
Hayawan.
Hayawan.
Damam.
Damam.
La Adawan.
La Adafam.
So like Shayatam. Wa. Now the Yab. Ma. Wa.
Nadayamawa.
Ka Arab.
Karab.
Waka Zaha Salakia. Waka Zaaba.
Kazabak.
Wa Kazabak.
Kazabak.
Wa Kadazal Manai.
Wakatazal Mana.
Kal Nasa.
Kal Nasai Kamwa.
Kal Nasaya Kamwama. Salakia. Ashar.
Ashar.
Amar Wa.
Amarwa.
Na Yashra Allah.
Na Yoshal.
La Nawa.
Nalawa.
Ath Na'awath.
Nawath.
Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shayatam.
Shayatama.
Kagagala.
Kagagala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanya.
Lapanya.
Raka.
Raka.
Kaash.
Kaash.
Ba'ira.
Tabaira.
Ya'ira.
Yaira.
Waka La'abath.
Wakalabat.
Talahat.
Talahat.
Haryam.
Haryam.
Kan Radapma.
Kantar Dapma.
Ba Sa'iraka.
Basairaka.
Wa Basa Wa Paka.
Wabasawapaka.
Bahalam.
Tabahalam.
Ma'ala.
Mala.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Kalawan.
Palawan.
Waha Bakashwa.
Wayabakwashwa.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabash Bashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wa Yaba'al. Bahal.
Wayabahawa.
Adya'ai.
Ayya'ai.
Wa Yakara. Waya Kaparwa.
Waya Kaparwa.
Waya Badwa.
Waya Bahawa. Waya Bahawa. Sorry, Waya Bahawa. Yeah.
Waya I what?
Yeah, Waya I. Waya Babwa. Waya Haibwa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Ash Shum Atha.
Atha.
Shumka.
Shumka.
Yahweh. Labad ka Ilawan.
Al Yawan.
I'll call Harataza.
Right. What we said was, keep not thou silence.
Keep not thou silence,
O God.
O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still,
O God.
O God.
For lo,
thine
enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
Have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
Against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said.
Come.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel.
May be no more in remembrance.
May be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
With
one consent.
They're
confederate against thee.
The
tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. As unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kazan. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb. And like Zeeb.
Yea.
All their princes of Zabah. And as Zamunah. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God. Make them like a wheel. As the stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth their wood. And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Lord. Let them be confounded. And trouble forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou. Whose name alone. Is Yahweh. Art the Most High. Over all the earth.
The blessings in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Yahweh Shai. Wa Mayak Ya'ala. Wa Alahayim. Matazab Ya'a. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapim. Ha Saranyam. Ha Quartazayanyam. Ha Kayalyam. Wa Ha Watyam. Yahweh. Bashem. Yahushai. The water Amah.
And what we said was, bless you, Yahweh. And
Yahushai.
And Michael. And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohanan. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you, so be it. Little one.
With that, Mashabia, which means
Interrupt prayers.
yeah. Shalom. Make sure the mic is set to the Samsung and not the Logitech. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Bragatha, Yahweh Shemaratha Shem Yahshua. This is the Isupk. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, in 1969. We're under Commanding General Yohanan. We're here to teach the truth of the Bible. The so-called Black and Native American Indians are the real Israelites according to the scriptures. Now, it being the Sabbath service, y'all see where we at?
Exodus 2:19.
Yeah. That being the Sabbath service, we're going to go into where we picked up where we left off last time, and continue to read in the Lashon Kodash, as like what we always do. This week we are going to be finishing up the book of Genesis. We're going to be starting Exodus. Now, again, in the book of Genesis, it establishes the history of Israel as a nation, and them moving into a land of Goshen by way of Joseph basically hooking them up. And then there's a period of time where we're able to build up close in the region of Egypt, for Israel to gain their strength in numbers and gain their strength in our culture. And basically the sons of Jacob or Israel are now starting to build the nation within another nation. It's no different than what we're doing now, where we are in an occupied land, or a land that once was ours, but we're technically our people have been annexed by another people, and we yet again have to rebuild our nation in the midst of another nation. So what's going on in the time of Genesis towards the end and into Exodus is very important history that you want to stay focused on. We're going to be having readers jump in and switch out every 7 verses. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Tell them where you're at. I'll be right back.
Exodus 2:19, right?
Yeah, that's what's on the paper, right?
Yeah. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 19. What a marnwa. Ayesha. Mutazarayim. Kata. Ilanawa. Maida. Kara. Ayam. Wagam. Dalawat. Dalakha. Lanawa. Wayasha. Udishak. Ata. Khatazan. Verse 20. Wayamar. Allah. Banatayan. Wayawan. Lamakha. Zaha. Sabatan. Ata. Hayasha. Karan. Lawa. Wayaka. Lakam. Verse 21. Waya. Wajwa. Masha. Lashbat. Ata. Hayasha. Wayatan. Ata. Tzapara. Batan. Lamasha. Verse 22. What the lie? Bun. Wayakwa. Ata. Shamayan. Garasham. Kaya. Amar. Gara. Khaya. Yataya. Ba'aratza. Haka. Rayaka. Pa. Verse 23. Wayakaya. Baya. Maya. Hara. Bayam. Hakam. Wayamat. Malak. Tazrayim. Waya. Nakwan. Banya. Yasharala. Man. Kha'ai. Badaka. Waya za. Icorn. Wat Allah. Shawa. Atam. Shawayatan. Salag. Ayla. Al-Khaim. Man. Ha'abada. Verse 24. Salag. Waya Shemaim. Al-Khaim. Ata. Na'akwatam. Waya Ska. Al-Khaim. Ata. Bartawayan. Ata. Abaram. Ata. Yatzak. Wa'ata. Yaquab. Verse 25. Wayar. Alakaim. Ata. Banya. Yasar Allah. Waya. The I. Alakaim. Sa. Verse chapter 3. How many? 22 to what?
22
To I'm on Exodus 3 and 1.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. I think you did. Where did you start at?
22, sir.
I think you did more than.
Salagi.
7.
22, 23, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. How many verses are there?
You did way more than 7.
Yeah,
All right.
Salagi.
Go ahead and go to English.
Okay. Stuff in Exodus?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a mark. Salagi. Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Salagi. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 22.
Hold on. No. It's supposed to have taught at Genesis 50 and 14.
This was my career.
Yeah, you where'd you start at?
So Exodus 2 and 20, 2 and 22, I think.
That's where he told you to start?
Yeah. I mean 3 and 22.
You're supposed to start in Genesis. Genesis 15 and 14. Now you might have to go back to Hebrew and read that again.
Okay.
Yeah, Genesis 15 and 14.
Okay.
That's not where you started?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, start there.
Okay.
So this one.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 14. Wayasab, Yawasab, Matazaram, Hawa, Wakiyan, Akyun, Waka, Ka'ai, Layam, Atwa, Laka, Lakabra, Ata. Abayon. Akiram. Akiraya. Kwabran. Ata. Abayawan. Verse 15. Wayarawan. Akian. Yawasa. Kaya. Mata. Abayam. Waya. Maran. Lawa. Yasha. Man. Nawam. Yawasa. Wayasab. Yashawab. Nanawa. Ata. Kam. Haraya. Hara. Aika. Asha. Gamalan. Nawa. Atwa. Verse 16. Wayatazam. Wawa. Allah. Yawasa. Lawamar. Abayuka. Tazawan. Lapanya. Mawa. Tawa. Lawamar. Verse 17. Kaka. Tamara. Wa. Yawasa. Anak. Sha. Naka. Pashay. Akia. Akia. Wa atam. Wa kia. Ta. Tam. Kaya. Raika. Gama. Lakwa. Wa ai. Taka. Sha. Na'a. Lapa. Sha'ai. Ipadai. Alakayam. Abakaya. Wajaba. Yawasa. Pada. Baram. Alaim. Nah. Alayan. Verse 18. Verse 18. Wajalakwan. Gum. Ahawa. So like you look at the chat. The chat. No. Our chat. Facebook. Waya. Lakwan. Gum. Akium. Waya Pluwan. Lapanwa. Waya Marwa. Kha na Nawa. Laka. La ai Parayam. Verse 19. Wayamar. Alakam. Yawasa.
Yor.
Ta. Ya. Rawan. Kaya. Khata. Yakhata. Alakayam. Anaya. What? So impressive. Come on, concert. KPR just coming back, and the other officers in the bathroom. I don't know, sir. I believe it's a yellow one. Come on, Congress. Where did I start?
Start at Genesis 50 and 14.
Yeah, you're getting at 20.
All right, I got two more, sir.
All right, come on, go.
Verse 20. Wa'atam Shabbatam, Aliyah, Raikha, Alakayim, Hashabbat, La Tabat, Lama'ain, Ashan, Kayawan, Chazaha, Lakakiyat, Lakiyat, Ayam, Ra'ah, verse 21. Wa I Taka, Ila, Taya, Rawan, Anaki, Aka, Lakal, Akatum, Wata, the become, what na, Nakiam,
Come on, guys, I do. I
Awatam,
got a lot of other things.
what
Brothers
bar,
trying to call me.
I allowed, Labayam, verse 22. Wayashub, Yawasab, 14, right? 7?
What verse you on?
Oh, 14. You started at 14.
Come on, guys.
What's he on now?
14.
Yeah, 20 was supposed to be your last one.
Okay.
The chapter ends at 26.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead and read through verse 20.
In the Hebrew?
Did you already get through?
Yeah, we already read it in Hebrew.
All right, go ahead and get that in English.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 14. And Joseph returned into Egypt, he and his brethren, and all that went up with him to bury his father after he had buried his father. Verse 15. And when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, they said, Joseph would peradventure hate us and would certainly requite us all the evil which we did unto him.
So first thing is, this is something that the brothers of Joseph are assuming, okay? They just lost their father, and they're just now remembering, all the things that they did to him that had him go and get sold to Ishmaelites and end up going into prison, and all the bad things that happened to them started because of what the brothers did to him. So that's what they're talking about. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 16. And they sent a messenger unto Joseph, saying, Thy father did command before he died, saying, verse 17, So shall you say unto Joseph, Forgive, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brethren and their sin, for they did unto thee evil. And now we pray thee, forgive the trespass of the servants of the God of thy father. And Joseph wept when they spake unto him. Verse 18. And his brethren also went and fell down before his face, and they said, Behold, we be thy servants. Verse 19. And Joseph said unto them, Fear not, for I am in the place of God. Verse 20. But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save such people alive.
That's heavy because Joseph understood the end result was actually a good thing. Even though bad things may happen to you throughout your life, they still sculpt the kind of person that you become, that you can become better and can overcome through brotherhood and forgiveness many things. All right, let's go ahead and switch readers out. Going next. State your name and your registry. Oh. Chubra Kaya Banyahauda Banyashala. Yahabashim Ashabrakata. Go ahead. All right, with that, Mashabi. Let's continue. We're going to start at verse 21. We're in Genesis chapter 50, verse 21. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Genesis chapter 50 and verse 21. What a thought all
The Yarawa.
the Ariawa
Anakia.
Nakia
Help him out, copy y'all. What you looking for?
Akala
A kalakal.
Come
Athakam.
at the come what to become when I come when ya no come well done all done why what a bar all the bomb verse 22 why a shop I always saw but Bahamut is a Ryan. Hawa Wabayaf Abaya Awa Haya Yawasa Waya Kaya Yawasa Ma'a Wa Ashar Shanayam verse 23 why are Yawasop La'aparam Bayana Shalasham Gam Banyaya Manya Makayar Bon Manasha Waladao Layadao Yaladao Al
Barakia.
Barakia, Yawasop, verse 24. Wayamor, Yawasop, Al Akar,
Shaya. Akiam.
Akiawa,
Anakaya.
Anukaya,
Matha.
Mata,
Wa'alahaya.
Wa'alahayam,
Pakar.
Pakad, Yapakad,
And
Akum,
Athakam.
Atakam,
Ha'alaya. Waha'ala.
Waha Allah, Atakam, Mayam, Ahabraz, huh?
Man.
Mam,
Man.
Man, Araz,
Paratiza.
Rataza,
Hazar.
Hazah, Al, Rataza, Ashar,
Nashabai.
Nashabai,
Laram.
La'ab, huh?
La'abaram.
La'abaram,
La'abaram.
Labaram,
Layatiza.
Yatazak, Slovakia. Where do I find that?
Wala Yaikwab.
Wala Yaikwab.
Where do you find it?
Where do I find this letter?
Wa. Wa is right here.
Oh, it looks different.
Yeah, that's the formal way, but on the digital side on an Android phone, it's going to look like just a line. Ya is a shorter line, and then end na is a long line at the end that goes past the other characters.
Oh,
So just keep that in mind.
verse 25. Yashba. Yashba. Yawasat. Af. Ban. Banya. Ban. Very cool.
Nawasaba. Yeah. Yasha'ala.
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 Yasha'ala. Lamor.
Lamma.
Lamor.
Quad.
Baquad. Yabaquad. Alahayam. Atakam.
Latham.
Wa Hi Atam. Ad Off. I Taza.
Which one?
This one right here. I Taza.
Tazamathia.
I Taza Mafia.
When I was a tutor in a college, it was best to help show them how to answer the question rather than to let them struggle through it, because through repetition of seeing similar questions, that is more effective in teaching them how to do it. It's no different than us showing you precept upon precept. So if he struggles with it, copy our, show him how to say it. Don't let him struggle through it, because there's going to be more words that are similar, and he's going to start recognizing those characters naturally.
Once I let him pronounce it first, and if he can't pronounce it, then you pronounce it for him.
Right, but don't give him too long.
Pronounce it. Mazat.
Mazah. Verse 26. Wayamat. Gawasat. Ban. Ma'ath. Wa Ashar. Shanyam. Wayaka. Natal. Otal. Waya Asham. Waya Asham. Ba'awam. Ba'matazarium. Verse 27. Exodus chapter 1 and verse 1.
Just read verse 1.
Read verse 1.
Yeah.
Wa'allah. Shamawa. Ban. Ya Taza. Ya Taza. Ya Taza Yasha'ala. Oh, yeah. Yasha'ala. Habayam. Matazarayam. Ath. Yaquab. Aisha. Ayash. Wabat Aitawa. Atawa. Ba'awa. Verse 2.
That's it.
Let's get that in English now. Excellent.
50 verse.
I can tell he's been studying. He's starting to remember some of these characters. The Assyrian is not as easy to learn as the ancient. So excellent work there. Go ahead. Yeah, you started at verse
15.
No, you started at verse 21.
Genesis chapter 50 and verse 21. Now therefore fear ye not, I will nourish you and your little ones. And he confronted them and spake kindly unto them. Verse 22. And Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he and his father's house. And Joseph lived 100 years and 10 years. Joseph lived 110 years.
That's a good long life. 110 years. Yeah, keep going.
Verse 23. And Joseph saw Ephraim, children of the third generation, the children also of Machariah, Machariah, the son of Manasseh. Manasseh were brought up upon Joseph's knees. Verse 24. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I die, and God will surely visit you, and bring you out of this land, unto the land which he sware to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Verse 25. And Joseph took an oath of the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye carry up my bones from hence, Verse 26. So Joseph died being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt.
So that's the end of Joseph's life there. You understand? You got to see his grandkids, you know what I'm saying, be born. That's a full life to live. And an excellent one. Even to the end, he was prophesying of the future for Israel. Now we know what our spirit needs to be at. We need to constantly prophesy as well. Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 1 and verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man of his household came with Jacob.
All right. With that, Imagine. Keep this thing going. Go ahead.
You call your Allah, Ban Yashakar, Ban Yasha Allah.
You call Yalla, Ban Yashakar, Ban Yasha Allah.
Yahweh Bashem Yashabakta.
Yahweh Hashem Yashabrakatah.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 2 in the Hebrew. Ra Waban. Shammai. Shammai.
You're gonna read
One.
through verse 8, I believe. Yeah, you're gonna read through verse 8.
Come on. La Waya. Wa Yahawada. Salakia. Verse 3. Yashakar. So Zabah wa Salakia. Zabah wa Lan. Wa Banyamyan. Verse 4. Dan. Wa na pa talai. Salakia. Wa na pa ta tal talya. God. Wa ashar. Verse 5. Wa Yahaya. Call. Napash. Yataza Aya. Salakia. Yataza Aya. Yarak. Yaikwab. Shabai Yum. Napash. Wa Yabasap. Haya. By Matazarium. Verse 6. Wa Ya Math. Yawasap. Wakal. Akayawa. Wa Salaki. Wakal. Hada. Wa Salaki. Hada war. Ha wa. Verse 7. Wa banya. Salaki. Wa banya. Yashra Allah. Paran. Wa Yashara. Ratazawa. Wa Yara. Bawa. Wa Ya I Taza Mawa. Bama Ad. Ma'ad. Wathama La. Ha'arataza. Atham. Verse 8. Waya Kwam.
Malak, Chadash, Al, Matazarayim, Ashar, La'ah, Yadai, Ath, Yawasab. Verse 9.
No, that's it. Go ahead and go to the English.
Come on. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 2 in the English. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Verse 3. Issachar, Zebulun,
There we go. Getting the list going. Keep
and
going.
Benjamin. Verse 4. Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. Verse 5. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that and all that generation. Verse 7. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly, and multiplied and waxed exceedingly.
Where were you at?
Verse 7.
Oh, go ahead.
Exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them.
That's in that verse.
Come on. Verse 8. Now there rose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
So we listed the tribes, right? The sons of Jacob, of course, not excluding Joseph, because this is, Joseph was already in Egypt, and it mentions that. It says, now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. It's no different than like here in America when they change, governments, right? The new rulership, they're trying to kick Hispanic people out of America. The leadership did not do that, right? So there was one way of treating Israel with one outgoing, presidential, cabinet and all that, administration. Then you got another one coming in with a whole different game plan, throwing everything up. This is what happens when we're under another people. We're subject to the rulership of those people, and it's never consistent. You understand? Well, I guess the only thing that is consistent is that they find one way or another to oppress us. Now it's just a different way. All right. With that, Amadim. Who's next? Go ahead.
Taziar Banza Bala Wan Banya Sharala.
Taziar Banza Bala Wan Banya Sharala.
Yabashim Shabrakatan.
Yahabashim Shabrakatav. That Mashavia, which means to sit. We're gonna continue. Get that. Oh, it's like watch your chair. Scoot it up. No, scoot it up. There you go. That's all.
Verse 8, right?
Yeah, you're gonna start at verse 9. Read through 15.
Okay. There's a book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 9. Wayamar, Al, I'm one. Khanakha, Ayam, Banya, Yashra Allah, Rabbah. Wa I Tazawam, Mamanam. Verse 10, Chabaha, Nahakia, Kamacha, Lawa, Pan, Yarabaka, Wayacha, Kaya, Tara, Nacha, Makia, Macha, Wanawasa, Gam, Hawa, Allah, Shana, Yanon, Wana, Hakim Banawan wa I laka man ha'aratza. Verse 11. Wa yasha ya mawan alayan sharaya masayam lamayan anatawan basa latam waiban ayarai masa kanawat la parai ata patam wata ra rai rayamas rayamasa. Verse 12. Muka shara aya nawan atawan kan yabara wakan yaparatiza waya kwaratzan mapanya banya yasha Allah. Verse 13. Waya I badawan matazram atan banya yasha Allah baparak. Verse 14. Waya mara rowan atan kaya yakam ba'ai badaka kwasaka bakmar wabala na ayam wabakal ibda basha dakha ata ka I datam ashar abadaim abadan abakam baparak. Verse 15. Read through 15.
Khan.
Okay. Wayamar Maalak Matasarayam Laya Lama Yaladat Kha'ai Barayat Ashar Sham Akikhat Shapra Washam Hasha Sanayam Hasha Sayat Payai. That's 15.
All right, let's get that into English.
So, one in what was it? What was it?
Verse 9.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us.
And this is no different than how they feel about us today, because they're constantly worried about us trying to rebel against them, like how we tried to do when we were slaves. Constantly worried about us rising up, and that's part of the reason why they have what they call the replacement theory, right? Numbers, because they were comfortable when their numbers were higher, when we were the minorities. That's why we got that. That's why they gave us the term minorities. Now with the influx of immigrants and the influx of just the massive childbirth rate amongst our people versus the decline of the childbirth rate amongst theirs, because they ain't got no game, they can't spit no game, in a general sense, that they're worried about that, and it's no different back then than it is now. Go ahead.
Okay. And fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
Man, it's no different than your supervisor at your job, your shift leader, your CEO. They put taskmasters over them to make their lives harder, because they know the harder your life is, the more that you'll turn to drugs, the more that you'll turn to alternative ways to try to comfort yourself instead of turning to the Lord. Anything that's going to distract you and potentially weaken you. But we can't allow that to weaken us. We can't let their oppression burden us to the point where we don't get our job done that we need to get done. So we got to stay locked in. Keep reading.
Okay. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. Verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
Good night. That's just how we are. You know what I'm saying? We always make something good out of something bad, because our people always, with faith, walk and just continue to fight through whatever we go through. Go ahead.
Okay. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. Verse 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. Verse 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage and mortar and in brick.
You see that? You see how there's a separation of the civilization, where you have different tiers, where you have the younger, not younger, you have the lower class citizens that do all the hard labor, and you have the upper class citizens that are sitting in seats and sitting as taskmasters and sitting as authority. Now, of course, America tries to blur the lines a little bit because of certain laws that they have in place. But the majority of what you're going to see when you go to your slaveries, when you go to your works, your 9-to-5s, anywhere that you've gone, and once you come out of the schooling system where they've conditioned you into the supremacy of the Edomite Empire, right? That's, the false supremacy. After they brainwash you with that, they throw you into the workforce, and then they make it seem like it's just a natural thing for them to be over you while you do all the hard labor. And again, what happened in the past is reflected till now. That's why we read the Old Testament. That's why it's important. You can't take the Old Testament away and be like, oh, that's not important no more. This is important history. Keep reading.
Okay. And in all manner of service in the field, all their service, when they made them serve, was with rigor.
That's how you know it's slavery, because it's them barely getting by and working very hard, and it's not fair. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah.
That's the end of verse 15.
Okay, sir.
All right, Most High Christ. I have more to add to that, but we'll keep reading. Maya? That Mashabi, which means to sit. Excellent. You stopped at verse 15, so
16,
next 7 verses.
23.
Up through 21.
Oh.
Well, actually,
23 because he
Oh
started
yeah,
at
yeah,
15.
yeah.
16.
Exodus chapter 1 and verse 16. Wayamar.
22.
Come.
Bayalad Khan.
Bayalad.
Oh, Bayalad
Come.
Khan. Hat. Ha. Ha. Ra. Huh?
Son. I.
Ha. Ra. Right. Ya. Waf. Wa. Wara. I. Ya. Done. Hal. Aha. Banum. I. Off. Man. Ha. Huh? Hawa. Waha. Madan. Adao. Wa. Baaf. Hayai. Haya. Wakaya. Verse 17. What die. What die. Ha. What na. Ha. Hamaya. Lada. Af. Alahayim. Ha Alahayim. Walo. Wayla. Oh, Wala. Ashawa. Ashar. The bar. Alahan. Malak. Matazarayim. What the Ayan. Yayan. Af. Allah. Dan. Yam. Verse 18. Waya. Kawa. Malak. Matazarayim. Lamaya. Lada. Mayamar. Lahan. Mado. Aisha. Aidan. Hadaba. Hazaya. What the Kai Ayan. Huh? Yayan. Off. Hayaladayam. Verse 19. What the Marwa. What the Marna. Hamaya Lada. Al Paro. Kaya. Lo. Kanashya. Kanashya. Hamatazarayam. Hamatazarayah. Haviyat. Huh?
Haya.
Haba
Hmm?
Habaraya
Kaya.
Kaya Haya Wat
Kaya.
Kaya Wat
Ka.
Kaya Wat
Fa. Fa. Kaya wa.
Kaya Waf
Hey.
Hana but
Pataram.
Bataram Dab
Taparam.
Dabawa Alahan
Ah.
Alahan
Yeah.
Ham Yal
Hamaya. Lada.
Huh
Hamaya. Lada.
Yamaya Ladaf
Hamaya.
Hamaya
Lada.
Ladaf Wayala Da No, you're right.
Huh.
Huh?
Yeah, you got it right here. Go ahead.
Verse 20. Tab Alahayim Layal La
Yeah. Lada.
Lada
Hayaram.
Wayarab
Ah.
Han
Yeah, is no.
Wayahai Az Mawa
Okay. Mahab.
Ma'a. Verse 21. Haya Kaya uh,
Yarao.
Huh?
Yarao.
Our Rawa Yala
Hamaya.
Hamaya Lataf Al Af Ha Alahayam Ha Waya Shah Waya Shah Laham Lakam
Laham.
Laham
Athayam.
Batayam. Verse 22. Waya
Oya Tazal.
Waya Tazawa
Yes. Oya Tazawa.
Waya Tazawa
Horo.
Paro Lakal
Amal.
Amal Lamor
Lamal.
La Amor Salakia
Kal.
Kal
Kaban.
Haban
Aya. Aya Lawan.
Haya
La. Aya Lawan.
Haya Lawad
Aya Ara.
Haya Awa
Shaya.
Tasha
Al.
Taza Tasha
Tha.
Oh
Shah.
Tasha
Tha.
Da
Shah.
Shab
Laya.
I Laya
Kawa.
Kawa Wakal
Aba.
Habath
Ka.
Daka
Yawan.
Awam
Yawan.
Yawam. Verse 23. Wayalak Aisha. Is it Aisha?
Hmm?
Is this Aisha?
Wait, you ended at verse 3?
Wait.
We started at verse 2. So it's going to go through verse, I believe it's 8. Right?
So the 2 and verse 1?
Oh no, my bad. That's the last one. Go ahead.
Oh, this last one.
Verse 2, chapter 1, or chapter.
Exodus chapter 2 and verse 1. Wayalak. Ayash.
I believe so.
My Baf. Huh? Allah Layawa. Wayakwa. Af. Ba'a. Baf. Layawa. Say that again. Layawa. Ayl. Labaya. That's it.
English.
Was that? Hold on. How many verses were in
6.
chapter 1?
What did you study?
Oh, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's 12. Yeah, because you just read one verse. All right. Let's get that in English.
Exodus chapter 1 and verse 16. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stool, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
Damn, what is this? Now again, there's a lot going on here in this story that's similar to what's going on today. You understand? And what is it that he's talking about right here? He's talking about damn near the same thing of what we consider today as an abortion, except it's more specific, it's more direct. When it's a male, kill it. When it's a female, let it live. And what's the benefit of that for them? Because they understood the importance of the seed of the man,
Right.
carrying on the lineage of the Israelite children. Another thing too is they enjoy the way that our women look. They want our women to continue to just, to flourish in America and to take part and to listen to country music. I say that because it's one of my biggest pet peeves and red flags for a Hispanic sister to like country music, because that's very akin to her being prone to liking white men. And in this case, it's them liking Egyptian men. The less Hebrew men that there are, these women are going to want something. They're going to end up looking towards the other nations. They'll look into other nations for some kind of masculinity to cling to. You have to understand the war that we're in right now, because this right here is exactly what they're doing to us, feminizing the men, or just flat out trying to wipe them out through abortions and things like that. They're doing it in a sneaky way now. Remember, they've taken crafty counsel against us. And they've continued this very same theme. That's why America is so based off of Egypt and of the Roman Empire and the Assyrian Empire, because they look at the oppression and they take the best parts of the oppression that was put on the children of Israel, and they want to implement that into their society, their politics, their administrations. You understand? It'll take a different form when a different leader takes place. The oppression is still there. There's one administration that may not be okay with abortions, but they'll be okay with just straight up taking you out of the country. While one administration is okay with you staying in the country, but wants you to abort your babies. It's all wicked. Your vote does not matter in that sense, because all of it is against Israel. You vote against Israel, whether you vote Democrat or Republican. Well, in this day and age, in this time, in the ancient times, it was the Egyptians and people, then women, they voted with what they did with their children when they were born. Those midwives, they chose their allegiance based off of how they treated these children. And let's see what happens to an example of one of those children. Read on.
Verse 17, but the midwives feared God.
They said what?
But the midwives feared God.
No, they feared the king of Egypt.
But the midwives feared God.
You understand? This is what our sisters need to understand. You need to fear the Most High, not the government, not their leadership. Go ahead.
And did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men, children alive.
Go ahead.
Verse 18, the king of Egypt called the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? Verse 19, and the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively
They're
and
what?
lively.
They're lively. Go ahead.
Lively, Salakia. And are delivered. What is
Delivered air.
Oh, air. The midwives come it unto them.
The Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women. We're not, and just like how our sisters are not supposed to be like the American women. Not supposed to be like the Edomite woman. You're not supposed to be like the Chinese woman, the Indian woman. When I say Indian, I mean East Indian. You're not supposed to be like the other nations.
Right.
You're supposed to fear the Most High and follow His laws.
That's right.
There's no getting around that. When you don't do that, your whole life goes to mess. Don't be surprised if it goes to mess because you choose to follow your own heart and want to fit in with society and act like how they act. And all it's going to do is destroy you and your children and your future and your mental state. Go ahead. What you had to say, officer?
Sorry, on verse 17, I meant 15, where you said that they are sneaky about it now. Can I say that they sneaky about it by separating us at the border as far as the children go? Is that fair to say?
That's a little bit more sporadic. I think you want to have something that's a little bit more concrete in their approach. And we know for sure that, like I said, the abortion clinics being in the hood right next to the liquor store, that's a very blatant sneakiness. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's sneaky, but it's like right in your face. You know what I mean? Now, splitting them up at the border, splitting families up, they may show some kind of preference. Maybe they do, but we need more data on that. We need to see if they are letting the women in and making the men leave. You know what I mean? Because, and then they'll try to pin it, they'll try to coerce and say it's something else like, oh, well, we just want to make sure that they're not potential terrorists because most terrorists eventually are men. That's another angle that they'll hit it at. They'll do all these different, oh man, he's just going to be a cartel member, so we're just going to let the women stay and the men go. And again, what's that doing? That's a sneaky way of filtering out the seed of Israel from amongst this populace called America.
I should get more facts before I say that.
Look into something like that. If you want to support it with data, because the data is always going to show what's happening. Multiple sources. Look into something like that. Look at history books and compare what they did back then to what they're doing now. You know what I'm saying? There was a book called The Aztecs where the Hispanic women, the Native American women, they straight up would commit suicide because white men were impregnating them and they didn't want to go through with their pregnancy and have their children. You pull up something like that, that's going to hit home to a lot of women. It's going to make that woman that went and got that white man feel ridiculous for just giving in instead of fighting the power like those women back there that were righteous, that feared God, that knew God's laws. We have to reestablish the truth on the earth so that it can be pushed and really strike into the spirits of the minds of Israel out there.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Verse 20. Therefore God dwelt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty.
Therefore God dwelt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. Meaning we went against the grain and still flourished in that land. Go ahead.
Verse 21, and it came to pass, because the midwives feared God, that he made them houses. Verse 22, and Pharaoh changed all his
charged.
And Pharaoh charged.
Meaning that he ordered, go ahead.
All his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save.
Now, this isn't what we need to understand from this scripture is not talking about the Egyptian children. It's talking about the Hebrew children. You understand?
Right.
Which is another form of what they call nowadays what? There's a term for it. Go ahead.
Ethnic cleansing?
That's give them a hand. That's an even better term. Ethnic cleansing, extermination. I was thinking of the other term, but I'll see if I remember it. Go ahead. Give me verse 1 on the next chapter.
Exodus chapter 2 and verse 1. And there went a man of the house of Levi and took to wife a daughter of Levi.
Mm-hmm. Where you at? Read that again.
Exodus chapter 2 and verse 1. And there went a man of the house of Levi and took to wife a daughter of Levi.
He stayed within the tribe. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine. Love Levite on Levite love. Okay. Go ahead.
It's like eugenics. The word you're looking for is eugenics.
That's another term, eugenics. I was thinking of the other one. Genocide. That's the one. Genocide. That's the term that they try to find ways to do that to Israelites. With that, Amadim.
You call your Allah by Yashka by Yasha. You call your Allah by Yashka by Yasha Allah.
You call Yahweh ban Yashikar ban Yasha Allah.
Yahweh should be on Shabbat.
Yahweh Shem Yashar. Hey, what's the upload speed on the internet? Copyright, you know? We need to improve it because it shouldn't be showing up like that. It's either the computer or the connection speed that keeps it from running smooth. So just a heads up on that. With that, Mashabin.
Verse 22.
No, you. Where are we at? No. You're in Exodus chapter 2 now.
Verse 22.
No, start at verse 2. Exodus 2 and 2.
Come on, sir.
You're going to read through verse 8. Read through verse 8.
Come on, sir. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 2 in the Hebrew. Watahar Ha'asha Wathalad Ban Watara Atawa Kaya Tawab Hawa Watha Taza Pana Hawa. Is that a wa or the an at the end? So like you said.
Why?
Wa. Okay. Shala Sha Yara Ha Yum. Verse 3. Wala Salakia. Wala Yakala Iwad Hatazapa Ya Nawa Watha Kwa Kha Lawa Tabath Gama Watha Kha Ma Ra Bachamar Waba Za Path Watha Sham Ba Ath Haya Lad Watha Sham Basa Wap Al Shapath Chaya Ar. Verse 4. Watha Tazab Acha Thawa Mara Salakia Mara Kwa Lada I Ma Ya I Sha Salakia Ya I Sha Lawa. Verse 5. Watharad Bath Parai, Lara, Khataza, Al, Haya, Ar, Wana, Ira, Thaya, Halakath, Al, Yad, Haya, Ar, Wathara, Ath, Hatha, Ba, Batha, Batawak, Hasa, Wap, Watha, Shala, Lach, Ath, Amatha, Watha, Kwa, Ha. Verse 6. Watha, Pa, Tha, Thach. It's like it. Watha, Pa, Thach. Watha, Ra, Ah, Hawa, Ath, Hayalad, Wahana, Na'ir, so like it. Na'ir, Bacha, Watha, Ha, Mal, Ila, Yawa, Watha, Mar, Maya, La, Ladia, Ha'ai, Bara, Yum, Za. Verse 7. Watha, Amar, Acha, so like Achathawa, Al, Bath, Harai, Ha'alak, Wakwa, Ra, Thaya, Lach, Asha, Mayana, Quath, Man, Ha'ai, Bara, Yath, Wathaya, Nakwa, Lak, Ath, Hayalad. Verse 8. Watha Amar, La, Bath, Parai, Lakaya, Wathalak, Ha'aila Ma, Watha Quara, Ath, Am, Hayalad. Verse 9. Watha Amar, La, Bath, Parai, Hayala Yakaya, Ath, Hayalad, Hazah, Wahayana Kwa, Hawa, Ya, Wahanaya. It's like Wa'a Nahaya, Athan, Ath, Shakara.
Go ahead and read through verse 10.
Come on, Constant. Shakarak, Watha Kwakwa. It's like Watha Kwakha, Ha'a, Shah, Haya Lad, Wathana Ya Kwa Wa. Verse 10. Waya Gadol, Haya Lad, Watha Ba'a Hawa, Labath, Parai, Waya Haya, Lach, Ban, Laban, Wathaquara, Shamawa, Masha, Watha Amar, Kaya, Man, Hamayam, Mashaya, Tha Awa. Select it. Where did I start?
Start verse 2.
Come on, come on. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 2. And the woman conceived and bare a son, and when she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. Verse 3. And when she could not longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes,
Like twigs and stuff like that.
and dabbed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein. And
and it basically is kind of like making a clay out of mud. That's kind of what clay is. You get it, you basically take it, liquefy it, pat it in, dry it up, heat it up, figure out a way to make it more solid, and then use the inner lining of the twigs to give it structure, and then give it all a purpose for the sake of floating in the river. Go ahead.
And she laid it in the flags by the riverbank. Verse 4. And his sister stood afar off to wit what would be done to him. Verse 5. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. Verse 6. And when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him and said, this is one of the Hebrews' children. Verse 7. Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and call thee a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for thee? And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, go. And the maid went and called the child's mother.
So what happened to Moses, this baby? He ends up in the hands of the Pharaoh's daughter. She takes a liking unto the baby, wants to see that the baby gets taken care of. You know what I'm saying? That's it's a heck of a coincidence, right? Because it could have ended up just keep floating down, or ended up in someone else's possession. It ended up being in the hands of the Pharaoh's daughter, which gives a little bit more, how do I say, possibility of this child actually succeeding and trying to be saved from the river. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take the child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it. Verse 10. And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moses. And she said, because I drew him out of the water.
Because that's kind of what his name means, drawn from water. I believe that's what it is. Let me actually get just real quick. Verse 10. Moses. Masha, which means drawn, meaning like picked up. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what Moses means. All right. With that, Imagine. We got one more section. I think we got 9 more verses. So I don't know how I always miss a line, but whatever. Who's next?
Tasia Banza Balawan Banya Shala.
Tasayan Banza Balawan Banya Shala.
Yabashim Yashabrakatan.
Yahabashim Yashabrakata.
That Mashabin. Gonna read through to verse, I believe they said the last one is 19. So we'll just get to verse 19, finish that up.
Okay.
All right.
Exodus 2:19, right?
Yeah, we'll start at verse 11.
Okay. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 11. Wayahaya. Baya Mayum. Hanakam. Wajaga Da. Mashakha. Wayataza. Allah. Akiyaw. Akian. Wayamar. Basalatam. Wayar. Ayasha. Tazariah. Makah. Ayasha. Ibariah. Mahakia. Yun. Verse 12. Wayapun. Ka. No, sorry. Ka. Wakha. Waya. Kaya. Atan. Ayasha. Waya. Ata. Kamatazariah. Wayuma. Nahwan. Bakyawa. Verse 13. Waitzaha. Wayawam. Hashanai. Waha. Naha. Shanaya. Anashayim. Abarayim. Natazayim. Wayamar. Larashaya. No, Larashai. Lamacha. To Kacha. Wayaka. Rayaka. Verse 14. Wayamar. Maya. Shamaka. Nasha Aisha. No. La Yasha. Shar. Washapat. Alayan 1. Kha. La Kha. Raganaya. Aktha. Amar. Kashar. Harakathia. The Hamataza Rayam. Waya Yara. Masha. Wayamar. Akan. Nawa. Da'ai. Khada. Bara. Verse 15. Waya Shamai. Pariah. Mata. Kharbar. Khazaha. Waya Kwa. Waya Bakusha. Hagra. Ata. Masha. Wayabaka. Masha. Mapa. Naya. Pariah. Wayashba. Baratza. Madain. Wayashab. Ila. Khabarat. Verse 16. Wala Kahan. Marayon. Shabbat. Banawat. Muta Ba Nakha. Muta Lanakha. Muta Malachna. Ata. Khara. Kha. Tayam. Wahasha. Wawat. Yatzan. Abayan. Verse 17. Waya Bawan Harayam Waya Gara Shawan Ya Wa Yakom Masha Waya Washa Ayam Wayashak Ata Tizanam. Verse 18. Wata Ta Banam Ha Allah Al Wa I Wala Abayan Wayamar What Ma Dawai Madawai Madawai Makha Raton Ba Wayawan. Verse 19. Verse 19. Wata Maran Ayasha Matazariah Hataza Ya Lanwan Mayan Hara Ayam Wagam the Allah Lahanwan the La
Oh, okay. So,
Lanwa Wayashak Ata Hatazwan Hatazwan 20.
No, into verse 19. Go ahead and read that in English where you started.
15. This is the book
No,
of
you started at verse 11.
this is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 11. And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown that he went out unto his brethren and looked unto their burdens. And he spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. Verse 12. And he looked this way and that way. And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand.
Moses wasn't no punk. He straight up slayed somebody for disrespecting, you know what I'm saying? Was it the temple he said?
No, he was smiting a Hebrew.
Smiting Hebrew.
Egyptian was so that
that's brotherhood right there. He moved out of zeal right there. Took matters into his own hands. You almost can't blame him for that. Go ahead.
okay. Verse 13. And when he went out of the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together. And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow?
Man, you see the difference here? Moses is being what dare I say racist? Because first of all, he sees two of his brothers fighting and he comes in with compassion. And he sees someone striking one of his brothers and he comes in with that fire and destroys that Egyptian. You see what I'm talking about? The spirit that's on Moses is that of the preservation of his nation because he most likely understands how he was born, how he was raised. There's something about him that he understands about the Hebrews that is separate from the Egyptians. Though he was raised amongst the Egyptians, man, got something going on with him. He's spiritual in this sense. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 14. And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me as thou killest the Egyptian?
Damn. So I knew about that. Go ahead.
And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known.
So word done got around and he'd have been found out. Go ahead.
Okay, verse 15. Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well. Verse 16. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. Verse 17. and the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. Verse 18. And when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, how is it that ye are come so soon today? Verse 19. And they said, an Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us, and watered the flocks.
Read that again.
Verse 19. And they said, an Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us, and watered the flock.
Starting to set up another scenario. Okay, we're gonna have to get more on that in the next Sabbath service, but we're gonna end it on that. So with that, Amadim. Sar, go ahead, take it. Oh, we gotta get the.
You got to do the wine first.
Don't cover it.
Come on, cover it.
La Yasharal. La Yasharal.
All right. Do the Lord's Prayer now. Also with us.
Abanau.
Abanau.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakuka.
Malakuka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Batazayaka.
Batazayaka.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Baratiza.
Baratiza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim.
Lathanana.
Lathanana.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Ka.
Ka.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalakna.
Wasalakna.
Kabawatna.
Kabawatna.
Kasalakna.
Kasalakna.
Kabawatina.
Kabawatina.
Walala.
Walala.
Tabi'ayana.
Tabi'ayana.
Unsa one.
Manasai one.
Abal.
Abal.
Aishana.
Awashayna.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Ra.
Rai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Amalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Paala.
Wahala.
Wata Parat.
Wanta Parat.
Lalamim.
Lalamim.
Amen.
Amen. Now we got the Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done
in earth,
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our
As
debts
we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us,
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the power.
For thine is,
For thine is the kingdom.
for thine is the kingdom
and the power.
and the power
and the glory.
and the glory
Forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
All right, this time we're going to salute the scroll.
Hold on, wait, one more time. Yeah.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barak Yah.
Yabashim Yosha Brakya.
Oh, step out right here.
Yeah.
Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Brakya.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakiyah.
Trey, copy that real quick.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakiyah.
No, sir.
You said that. Oh,
I sat down.
just
All right, now we'd like to ask at this time if anybody would like to be anointed. All good? All right, with that, Amadim, sisters, you may have a seat. At this time, we're going to give the brothers one courtesy salute. Individual, Amadim Shabbat, Amadim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brakatham, Yagi Matap. Sar, turn and face the sister for one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amadu Shabbat, Amanu, Barak, Yahweh Shemal Atam Bashim Yahushai, Yad Yamatah, dismiss.